This is what we covered in class today. This is standard 0706.3.8. Solve contextual problems involving two-step linear equations. So our first thing you need to know, and this is what we worked on in class today, y equals mx plus b. That is standard slope-intercept form. Now we talked about today how we have to exchange m and b for constants. And remember, a constant is just a number. Don't let that word throw you off. Constant is just a number. So if I'm going to plug in my values for m here is 3, b is 2, so I'll say y equals 3x plus 2. So that's pretty simple. Next thing I need to do, I'm going to graph this. So I need to make my table. Remember, you're going to start off with x and y. And because I get to make my own graph, I'm going to plug in whatever value I want for x. I'm going to just use 1, 2, 3, 0, just because it'll be easier for me to do the math. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to write these out. Y equals 3 times 0. I got that from right here at my table. That's my first value I'm going to plug in. Y equals 3 times 0 plus 2. So 3 times 0 is 0 plus 2. That makes my y value 2. Okay, that's my first set of coordinates. Next, I'll say y equals 3 times 1 plus 2. So 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 gives me 5. That's my second set of coordinates. Next, y equals 3 times 2 plus 2. So I have, from this 2 right here, 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 gives me 8. Next set of coordinates. Last one, y equals 3 times 3 plus 2. So y equals, that number is getting big pretty quick, isn't it? 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 gives me 11. 9 plus 2 is 11. So, my numbers are getting big fast. We talked about that a little bit today too. Not a big deal, I just have to make sure when I do my graph that I've got room for my numbers. Now we talked about this today too. All you need to plot is 2 points when we're talking about slope-intercept form. We're talking about the linear equations. Remember, linear, you can remember it like this. Just line, okay? You're just making a line. That's all it is. Fancy words, small things. Keep that in mind. Fancy words for small things. So I'm going to go ahead and make my graph. We're just going to keep it in the positives for right now. I could do anything I wanted here. I could make x -1. I could make it -200. I could do anything I want and find my y. I just don't have room on here for that. So I'm going to go ahead and plot my points. I start off by drawing my x and my y. Here's x, here's y. Now remember, we talked about this today too, that whatever way that I label x, I need to label y the same way. They've got to be similar, or my line is not going to look right. And you're not going to be able to read slope-intercept form when we go to start reading our graphs. So you've got to do this exactly the way I'm showing you. So looking at my coordinates, my first coordinate, here's the origin, is 0, 2. So that's my first one right here. Next one is 1, 5. And my next one is 2, 8. I don't have room on my graph for that. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my line. So here's my line. And that is how you graph a linear equation. Again, this is slope-intercept form, graphing a linear equation.